Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I've been told since until I hear a voice loud enough which goes into the other room, we'll not get started. Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you. So first and foremost, a very, very warm welcome to each and every one of you. We are all gathered today to basically celebrate something which is not just a relationship, but more like a sacred energy. So in advance, happy Mother's Day to everyone over here. Before we get started, were you aware that way back in 1969, when man stepped on moon for the first time, the entire computing power which NASA had, the cumulative computing power, was less than the mobile phone power computing power we have in our hand today. But I want to reassure you that today we're not going to be using any of that computing power. So each one of you, if you have your mobile phone, if you could put it on a silent mode, that'll be really appreciated. Couple of other logistical announcements. When you step out of the room, in case somebody needs to use the restroom, as you step out on the left side, you will see the restrooms for male and female, as well as you have refreshments, coffee and other snacks. Feel free to help yourself. May I request Navneet if you come to the front? That'll be awesome. That should be good. Thank you. So, it is said that because God could not be present everywhere, God ensured that to represent Him, mothers will be all across the globe, to let the souls experience the real, true, unconditional love which is there. So I want you to take a moment just to think of your mother and take a moment just to think about some of the top qualities which actually you hold and cherish in your heart. And we'll possibly revisit that later on, some of the discussion which we'll be doing. But hold that thought for some time. I'll just give you a moment. Think of the top 3 qualities of your mom which you really cherish and hold it very close to your heart. But today, we have all gathered over here, and the topic, does anybody know the topic for today evening?
Inner child.
Inner child.
Inner child.
Inner child.
Mothering our inner child. Thank you. So, mothering our inner child. What does that mean to you? What would mothering inner child really mean? Any thoughts? It could be anything which comes to your mind. Mothering your inner child, what does that mean to you?
Innocence.
You said innocence?
Yes.
Innocence, okay.
Kindness,
I'll come to you.
love and compassion.
Compassion, okay, very nice. Thank you.
So like mother take care of their kids, similarly we have to take care of our inner self.
Very nice. Thank you. Any other thoughts? Okay. So I'm not an expert on this, so we'll hold on to the real definition of mother, and whatever each one of you said is all correct, but we'll hold on to that and we'll let the experts come and talk and discuss. So just to give you a glimpse what we have in mind today for today is first and foremost, we will be doing a bit of discussion in a Q&A form, and we like it to be very interactive. We'll invite our center heads over here and we'll explore this topic. What does mothering your inner child really mean? And we'll also like to do is that towards the end, we like to leave some time if possible. If you have any questions on the discussion we had, feel free to ask them. So that'll be the first main part of the agenda for today. The second thing which we're going to do is we want all of you to be very interactive and engaging. So we all, in midst of the Q&A, we have put together an exercise for all of us to do. And that'll give you some pointers in terms of what we're discussing and why that is very important. And last, which will be there, and I want each one of you to stay back till the end. Because in the end, what we're going to do is, we will do a couple of things. There is with a lot of love being prepared sweets which are there. We like to be handing over to each one of you. And second is, there'll be a blessing card, which will be handed over to you. And that blessing card, when the first time when I got plugged into Brahma Kumaris, I got my first blessing card and it actually spoke to me. It felt like that the message written over there was really for me. So I'd like you to hold on till the end, be here, experience the whole discussions, and at the end when you get the blessing card, see to yourself whether that speaks to you or not, as it did to me. Okay, so like I said, mothering our inner child. And at that notation, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to invite our center heads And in our spirituality at Brahma Kumaris, we talk about 4 pillars of spirituality: Gyan, Yog, Dharana, Seva. And if you look at them, they are actually epitome of all the 4 pillars for us. They've been helping, guiding all the students who plug in with the spiritual university, as well as to anybody. So they welcome everybody with unconditional love. They are there to do all the 4 pillars, offering services to them. So without further ado, if you could put your hands together for Brother Shwetank and Sister Kanishta to please join us over here. And while they're making their way over here, both of them actually happen to be doctors. And Sister Kanishta dedicated herself full-time, leaving her medical, but wherever she gets an opportunity to service with the global hospital back in Madhuban, back in India, she does that. And Brother Shwetank, who's a doctor, and he is actually doing part-time work over here in helping the hospitals. And I've been told he's in great demand with all the hospitals.
That's a total lie. I'll let Kanishta come first, because she's the main speaker for the day. Yeah, my role would be to supplement and complement what Kanishta would be speaking. She's the one who knows about child psychology and other things.
I'm also learning.
Yeah. Well, we're all students of life. We're all learning. But Om Shanti. Yeah, thank you for coming. A warm welcome to each one of you.
So since we started with Om Shanti, maybe a moment to just explain everyone what does really Om Shanti mean. It'll be a good way to get started.
You want me to do that? Yeah, people have come up with complicated meanings of the word Om Shanti, but Brahma Kumaris likes to keep it simple. It is Om, that is I am, and Shanti means peace. So it is just a way of reaffirming that we are peaceful beings, that's all. If we can go into the deeper understanding of that, and we will really eventually, that we are inherently beings of energy, really. We are not the identities that we have acquired over time, but rather we are souls, spiritual beings, having a human experience at this time. And the very nature, the very quality of the soul that we are is peace. So instead of us going around searching for peace, we had the basic foundation course in the morning, and we had a big discussion about this, that sometimes, or not sometimes, pretty much every time we try to search for peace in the world out there, but really peace is who you are, who we are. So there's no need to really run around. Just go within, understand who we are. That realization automatically gives us the peace that we are hoping to have. So Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Okay, I think perfect timing for us to get started with the main topic for today, mothering the inner child. But just the basics. What is inner child? How would you define that?
Yeah, so this inner child is actually, it is a deep psychological concept, and it is a subconscious part of our personality that holds childhood beliefs, emotions, and memories.
Mm-hmm.
So, and those memories, emotions, and beliefs are not only they are in our childhood, but actually we carry these beliefs, emotions, and experiences of our childhood even when we become adults. So that is why this inner child work is very important, because see, we carry both positive and negative traits. Right? So that is why I have this mnemonic. Maybe I will request Archana, please come.
Yeah, Kanisha loves mnemonics.
Yep.
Yeah,
because
we can vouch for it.
Yeah, the master of mnemonics.
Because that helps me to remember. That's why.
Right. Actually, in our college days, my engineering college days, this is what we used to do to remember points rather than remembering the long thing, everything. You just take the acronyms and.
Yeah, we used to have this in medical
Right,
school,
medical
the bones of the hands and bones of the head. And,
Yes.
Right.
So positive traits of a child. C for children are very curious, right? So
Curious.
curiosity. Yes. Curiosity and creativity. That's the positive trait of any child. They're very curious. They want to explore the world. Even if you say no, still, they want to know everything. And then they are also very creative. They they come up with so many beautiful things that we can't even imagine, right? So they are very creative and they are very curious. And yes, you
H.
good? Okay, good. On the other hand, the negative trait, see, if the inner child is healthy, then that child exhibits all these positive traits, and these traits are then reflected in day-to-day life. But on the other hand, if the child is carrying these negative traits, they are dominating the child, then the child will be very critical. So child will not talk in a nice way. Maybe child will try to judge everything, and child will be very harsh. So all those things. I will be talking more about this in a few minutes. And then H stands for positive trait. H stands for happiness. Children are very playful, right? They want to play around. They want to be happy. Yes? So happiness. And when we see children happy, then we also become happy. Right? That's why when you feeling low, you start playing with your children. Then your mood also changes, right? Yes. So H for happiness. And the negative trait is when the child is not positive, then child feels helpless. Child does not feel safe, because see, children, they need someone to take care of them, right? So if they don't get what they're looking for love, they're looking for comfort, they're looking for validation. If they don't get all of those things, then they feel security, yes. So then they feel very helpless, right?
Can we add hopelessness to it?
Yes. Actually, happiness and hopefulness in this positive trait, you can write, and helplessness and hopelessness.
Yeah, I'm learning too. So honestly, we did not get a chance to rehearse at all as to what she'll be talking or I'll be speaking. But
Yes,
let's see.
but when it
I'm
comes
sure.
out organically, then it is more effective, right? Yes. So helpless,
Yes.
hopeless.
Hopelessness.
Helpless and hopeless, right? Yes. I stands for
Innocent.
innocence. Yes. In the beginning, I think someone said, right?
Inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration also. Yeah, children, they are source of inspiration for adults, right?
Someone said imaginative.
Yeah,
Imagination.
no, that I will cover in another alphabet. Yes, innocence. Good. Yes.
That's it? Integrity? No? No.
No, let's keep
Let's
it
make it
simple.
simple.
Yeah. You don't want to complicate, right? You want to remember. I want you to take all of this with you when you go back home, right? So, and negative trait is? What will be the negative trait?
Insecurity.
Insecurity. Yes. Child feels very insecure. Yeah. Because of insecurity, then child is not at all comfortable, right? And then L. Love. Yeah, children are very loving, right? Yes, they are loving, they are lovable, likable. Yes, they are lively. They make the atmosphere very lively. Yes, loving and lively. And what about the negative trait?
Lonely.
Lazy?
Lonely.
Lonely will be insecurity. It will cover over there, right? They're insecure. Yes, we can write lonely. We can write lonely.
See, what you can do is write all what people are suggesting and
Yes.
then highlight the ones that you want them to take home.
Yeah. Right. Lonely. What else? What someone said?
Lazy.
Yes. Lazy.
Loud.
Loud. Yes. That's good. Actually, we are also learning from all of you. Yeah.
Listening can be a positive trait.
Listening, yeah.
Yes.
Active listening.
Loud. Yes. Yeah. They're listening. They listen to us. You listen to elders. Right, children? You listen to elders? No? You don't listen to elders? You are good children, right? You listen to elders? Yes? Okay, good.
In the dreams.
Yeah, that is the D is dream.
Mother's dreams, parents' dreams.
D stands for they dream big. Yes, children? They dream big.
Desire.
Dream big will be the positive trait, right? Yes. And then anything you want to add?
Desire.
Desire.
Desire will not be in the positive trait. Desire means
Dishonest.
no, the positive trait.
Positive. Oh, positive.
Yes. Yes. So next.
Microphone. Correction
Yeah.
for microphone.
So negative trait will be disturb. Negative trait. Yes. Or distrust. They don't trust anyone. No?
Demanding.
Demanding. Distrust. Huh? First try distrust. That's the most important one. Distracted. There are many actually. Starting from with D, there are many negative traits. It will be whole page if you think about it. And that is why in Mahabharata. Just a minute. In Mahabharata, that is why for starting with D, there are all those devils, right? Demons
and devils.
Duryodhan and
Dushasan.
and yes. What did you say?
Distracted with device.
Distracted with device. Yes, distracted with device. That's it.
Distracted.
Distraction. Yes.
Divine
Distrust.
Yeah, positive trait will be divine. Yeah, distrust is also good. Distrust.
So when I'm looking at the list, and thanks everyone for being very, very engaging over here. I was thinking, as we grow up, we have two phrases we use. We say childlike or childish. Will it be fair to say that positive traits all fall under the childlike and the negative traits go across in the childish character?
Yes, that's very true.
Okay, so this is good. We have a little bit of understanding on the inner child. Are we all little better off understanding what inner child really means? Okay, I see his head's nodding, so which is a good sign. So the topic, let's come to that. It says mothering the inner child. What is mothering the inner child mean, and why is it important?
Yeah, like I said before, that these traits are not only present in childhood, but actually we carry these traits as we grow old. So if someone is carrying these negative traits from childhood, they will carry those memories. When any situation comes in life, then those memories will trigger negative emotions. And there is this emotional dysregulation. So that is why it's very important to heal that wounded child. Carrying the negative trait, it means the child is wounded, child is not healthy.
Right.
So that wounded child needs to be healed. If the healing is not happening, then it is not like it's not going to affect the person when the person is getting older. It's definitely going to show up.
Right.
In future. That's why it's important to do the inner healing, what we also call it as inner work.
Got you.
Or in a very beautiful word is reparenting. We have to reparent the inner child, because the parenting was not right in childhood. That is why the negative traits, they became more dominant.
So one clarification, just a basic one. We talk about child and we talk about trauma and everything. Now I'm thinking through, is it necessarily age dependent that it has to be done only at the child level, or even there'll be experiences we as adults also go through which can develop into trauma and make us behave like?
Yeah, but today we are mainly focusing on the childhood trauma. That's why the topic is mothering your inner child. It's definitely when when they go, they fight in the war zone, they go and they have trauma. So those traumas are very different kind of trauma.
Different.
Yeah.
Right,
but this is mainly about the childhood trauma.
Yeah. See, those things also develop because the inner child has not really grown to the extent that it needs to.
Sure.
So if you go back to Freudian psychology or Jungian philosophy, psychology, in a way everything starts from childhood. So the question that you brought up about this classic example is PTSD. So it's not just when people go to war and things like that, but even when they have situations on day-to-day basis, even a simple car accident, a house fire, the death of a family member can create an intense trauma in people, and then they end up with a lifelong diagnosis of PTSD.
Right.
However, the reason for that is that they are not able to process the situation, the challenge that has come to them at this moment in the right way. And why is that? In a way, it is all because of the childhood trauma or whatever transpired in the childhood that didn't allow the child to grow up to the level that it needs to be able to handle life situations.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. So, since we talked on the same topic, what are the impacts of trauma on inner child? So,
Yeah, even before that, I think we have another sheet where we will discuss about how the child is traumatized.
how does it?
First we need to know what are the different ways. That means what the caretaker is doing to traumatize the child. So there are many different things. Maybe we can talk about that. And I have the whole list of things.
So inner child is subconscious brain, subconscious
Yes.
mind. Okay.
So,
Aisha has a list of it.
yes, it's a long list, so I thought maybe I will. So you can start writing. First is abandonment. When the child is abandoned, physically or emotionally. Sometimes child is not given any kind of attention, and the emotional care that the child needs. Maybe the caretaker is not talking to the child. Caretaker is not talking to the child for 2 to 3 days. So that is like an emotional trauma to the child. Or maybe child is locked in a room physically. No one is going inside to get the child out from that room. So that is a trauma to the child. Second one is belittling the child. Laughing at the child, ridiculing the child, making fun of the child. Belittling. Belittling. So teasing the child, all of that. Mocking at the child.
You can come up with the different words for that.
Yes. And then, yes, good. Third one is blaming the child. Blaming the child, sometimes, caretaker will tell the child that, because of you, I am stressed out. So children are blamed for that. Fourth is shaming the child.
Mm-hmm.
Shaming the child in front of, especially humiliating the child in front of others. That is also very traumatic. Then criticizing the child. Always trying to, say something to the child, criticize, even if the child is doing her level best, his or her level best, but still always criticizing. Then invalidating the child. That means, did you write that?
Yeah.
I can't see. So invalidating means child wants to share his or her feelings with the parents, but parents, they are ignoring, they are not listening to the child. They are trying to make the child invalidating. Yes. They are trying to tell to the child that you should not feel in this way. Why are you feeling that way? So that is not right. Then conditional love. Only when you do this, you will get love. Right? Otherwise, you will not get love. So that is why very traumatic. Then next is manipulating the child. Manipulating the child. This is also very, very dangerous. And then betraying the child. Telling the child that, I will definitely come to see you in your recital, and then not showing up. And doing this multiple times. Every time promising to the child that, I will definitely be with you, and then not showing up. So that is betrayal. And then enmeshment. This is a new word that I learned. Enmeshment. Enmeshment. Enmesh. Enmeshment means directing the child, telling the child to enmesh, enmeshment. Asking the child to do the way you want the child to do something, not listening to the child, not thinking about what the child is thinking, feeling, just telling the child you have to do in this way only, right? So that is enmeshment. And then last one is patronizing. Patronizing. So I think there are 11 of them. Yes. Okay. So yeah. So this is the list. Maybe you can take a look at this list and think about if you have gone through any of these in your life. This will give you an opportunity to examine yourself. Because we ourselves are not even aware that we have gone through all of this. The childhood, how we have been taken care of in the childhood, knowingly or unknowingly. Even parents, maybe they're busy with their own work. Intentionally, they did not want to harm us, but still. Because see, the childhood age, the childhood time is a very sensitive time. Those are the formative years for the child, and if they don't get proper care, then definitely it's a trauma for the child. Yes.
Seems like a very nice, exhaustive list. What happens post this? The inner child goes through this trauma when they grow up. What do we see the symptoms of the people actually? What are the core issues which will be displayed?
Right. So if the child goes through all these things, maybe any one of these or maybe multiple things, then you will see that in adult life also, when there is a situation that is not that big, but still the adult will start behaving in a childish way. Adult will start to scream or become angry, because that is because see, the thing is that the child not only goes through the trauma, but the child also learns from the caretaker that I should also behave the way the caretaker is behaving with me. Are you getting that? Right?
Absolutely.
So whatever the child has seen in the family, that is what the child is going to project when the child grows older. So when the child grows older, then there will be, maybe he will become more anxious, there will be depression, sadness, in little things. That person will become upset.
Right.
There will be relationship problems. Maybe at workplace, person will not be able to handle the workload.
Right.
So there are many different things that can happen if the child goes through all these traumatic, situations. Right? You want to say something?
So the only thing that I want to say, I'm not sure which direction you're going to go eventually. Yeah, and I hope I'm not jumping the gun. But I want to say that each one of us has definitely gone through this. Yeah, but we can make these into big things and continue to traumatize ourselves over and over again. You see? You understand, one is trauma, the actual trauma, and then we rethink, relive it over and over again. And so this is called a secondary trauma actually in the world out there. So what my hope is that by the end of this session, you understand, you realize that it is not about blaming others, it's not about creating a victim consciousness, which we end up creating in general. That, see, my parents were so horrible, they didn't do this, they did that. So there are acts of omission, and then there are acts of commission, right? Things that they shouldn't have done, they did. The things that they should have done, they did. So we hold on to those memories, those situations, and we keep on traumatizing ourselves. Rather than that, what this session is going to do, I'm sure you will realize that, and we're going to recap that at the end as well, that you can take charge of your life now. The childhood is over, but the child within is still there. So you can start what Kanishta just mentioned, reparenting. You can start the process of reparenting now and fix yourself.
It's
I
never
have-
late.
It's never
Never
too
late.
late. Yeah, yeah, very good. One small thing, I have come across a lot of people who say, in fact, I would say the vast majority of people on this planet would say why they are what they are.
Mhm,
See?
mhm.
So they will have a lengthy explanation,
Justification at times.
justification, yeah, of why they are what they are. But what I'm sure, Kanishta, eventually you would be mentioning, the hope is that we understand that the more important point is how can we be what we want to be. Understand? I can keep on blaming my childhood for every wrong behavior I exhibit in this moment. This is because of that trauma, because my neighbor did this, maybe my grandparents did this. We can keep on ruminating on the past. But that's not the goal of this session. The goal is how we come out of it and recreate a beautiful future for ourselves now.
Very nice, very nice.
Yes. Thank you for that. Yeah, that's what we are going to do, the inner work that I was talking about. This is the inner work.
Looks like I jumped the gun.
No. No, it's not at all.
Actually, I got reminded of one of my favorite quotations is from a movie called Spider-Man. It says, "With great power comes great responsibility." Right? So when we talk of that, when we were talking, I was thinking about the responsibility which comes across to us as this, and it could be in two parts. Part number one is we are caretakers and responsible for younger child in the family, which is there. And the second part is, which the topic is saying that we have an inner child. It is our responsibility to ensure that we do not leave any sections traumatized, and it happens in a ripple effect. Whatever you do, it will happen ripple effect, and people across you are going to feel that, which is there. So thank you for that. And I think perfect timing to ask the next question, which is the follow through that, is that what are the ways to comfort or care or heal the inner child if in case of trauma happens?
I think you asked that question about the impact of trauma, right?
That's right.
So that we can do
We can
that.
cover, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So we are going one by one, step by step.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
So I think that is what is written right next. Impact of trauma. Oh.
Today we were talking the movie about the glue. Looks like that.
Yes.
It came over here as well.
So impacts of trauma on the inner child, right? So now we know that the child has gone through all of those things. Now, what is the impact of that trauma? So the first one is that. So again, it's a long list. So I'll be quick. The first one is inauthentic. The child will become more and more inauthentic because of the trauma. Child will no more be authentic. Means the child will try to be what the caretaker wants the child to be. Child will not share his true feelings, Yeah, inauthentic. Second is critical. I already explained. Child will become critical. Third is perfectionistic. Child will try to be perfect because child will think that only when I am perfect, then I'll get love. Right? Otherwise not. Fourth is overly conforming. CONFORMING. So that means we will do whatever the caretaker wants the child to do. Then fifth is child will try to deny or hide the feelings because no one is listening to the child. Then child will start to
There's
deny.
no point sharing. And
Yeah,
so they
there's
don't do that.
no point because no one is there to listen to me. Or child will try to hide or become passive aggressive. Yeah. Or passive aggressive. Then sixth one is overdeveloped parent script. That means child will see that there is so much chaos going on in the house, even though there are so many people in the house, but because of the chaos, child is not getting the safety, so the child will try to become his own parent. The child will try to play the role of a parent and a child. Both. Overdeveloped parent script. And seventh is child will always pretend to be strong because if the child is weak, then the child will not get the proper attention or care or comfort, so the child will just pretend that I'm strong, even though the child is going through a lot inside, but the child will pretend to be strong. So the next is distrusting, that I already talked about. Child will have no trust because child has this experience that every time I share, I'm mocked. So there is no one to trust. No one is going to accept me, no one is going to love me. Then the ninth one is withdrawal. Child will withdraw. That means child will either try to go inside and not share anything. 10. Low self-esteem. Actually, I had thought about low self-esteem. Something else came out at that time. So because the child will not experience any security, the child will have very low self-esteem. And then child will have difficulty with emotional regulation. So emotional dysregulation, maybe you can write, or maybe difficulty with emotional regulation. Then child will have polarized thinking. Polarized thinking means either this or that.
Or that. Extremes.
Extremes. All or none. You will think in that way. Polarized thinking. P-O-L-A-R-I-Z-E-D. And then child will have anxiety. Child will have a lot of anxiety, right? Because child is not safe at all. Child will have low motivation. Child will not at all have any motivation because child will have fear of failure. That if I do this, then if I fail, then what? So motivation will not be there. And then the last one is internalization of caregiver coping and interpersonal behaviors. So child will try to internalize whatever caregiver did to the child. That same behavior child will start showing up. Internalization of caregiver coping. Okay, so these are the.
So in different shades, we all might have experienced portions of it ourselves, or maybe with the people around us whom we work with, and it may have some kind of always a linkage back to as a child when we are growing up, where some elements might have been missing.
Right.
Okay. Thank you, Archana ji.
Yes. So there is one more, so don't go.
The next sheet.
The next sheet.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so anything you'd like to add over here in the audience which you believe you might have experienced, seen something?
I know you'll need the microphone, I guess. But then you'll have to turn off your
Yeah.
Om Shanti, I just want to understand what is that internalization of caregiver coping.
Yeah, so I told you, right, that whatever the caregiver is doing with the child, the behavior of the caregiver, that is what the child will try to internalize. So that means if the caregiver is shouting at the child, screaming at the child, then child will also do the same thing. If not then, maybe when the child grows up. Right? The same thing the child will carry. Yes.
So about the polarized thinking, right? You said it was all or nothing mentality. How does that happen?
Yeah, because children, their mind, their brain is not that developed. So they don't have the ability to think in that broad way. So yeah, the rational thinking is not there. So they think that either I'm safe or either I'm unsafe. As we grow old, then that thinking develops. We are not able to think in that way when we are little children. Thank you.
Could that also be an extension of the conditional love which you said? Only if you do this, you'll get that.
Yes.
So the thinking also develops the same way. It gets very polarized. That because I accomplish this, only then I'm going to receive this reward back from my parents. So those kind of scenarios.
Yes, please go ahead.
Because the brain continues to develop until your 20s, right? So when you're talking about inner child work, what age are you talking from?
Till 10 years, maybe.
Until
10 or
10.
11 years.
Okay, thank you.
So, what I want to also tell is that actually it's a little bit of misconception that the brain stops developing after a certain period of time. Our brain, and therefore mind, actually continues to develop, continues to evolve till the last moment of our lives. And that's why the concept of neuroplasticity. So again, this whole thing that often people feel like they are in a prison, in a cage. And let's say we come up with this arbitrary number, 20 years is when the brain stops developing. So now let's say I'm 21 years old. Now I can't do anything. I'm done. My life is gone. This is how I was brought up. This is what I received. And this is how I'm going to live the rest of my life. So the understanding that the meditation that we teach and practice, the Brahma Kumaris Raj Yoga meditation, is the clear understanding that you can change yourself, your brain, your mind, your way of thinking, your memory track, your beliefs, everything can change, and you can become whoever you wish to by simply working on yourself.
Absolutely.
Till the
Absolutely.
last moment of your lives.
Gotcha. Okay, coming to the question which I was hinting towards earlier, now learning about the impacts of the trauma and the symptoms which you see, what are the ways to heal, comfort or care for your inner child?
Yeah, so this is a 7-step process. Today you're going to learn a lot.
You could hold on to it, maybe.
So the first and foremost, the most important thing is that when the child is really traumatized, child feels unsafe. So first of all, we have to validate the feelings of the child. Okay? So we have to go within. So that is why this visceral means insight. So this is the insight process. So that is why this acronym V stands for validation. So validate. You need to validate. You need to understand what the child is going through. Instead of telling the child that you should not feel this way, this is not right, this is right. Instead of that, we have to say to the child that yes, I know what you're going through. I understand.
Inner child now, right?
Yeah, inner child. Yes. So we have to talk to that inner child that yes, I can understand what you have gone through. Instead of educating the child that you should not do this, you should not feel this way, that way. No. You just acknowledge and try to understand the child. Then I is intimacy or connection. You have to connect to the child. You have to really allow the child to share and be vulnerable. Unless you connect with the child is not going to open up. So you need to connect. Right? Yes. S stands for safety. You need to provide a safe space for the child so that the child feels safe, because safety is a big issue for the child. So you can say to the child that, now I am with you. You please don't worry. Whatever happened. That was the past. Now I am with you. So you are very safe.
Support.
Yes. And then C stands for consistency. So you have to be with the child all the time. It's not like you say that, oh, I'm busy, I don't have time. That is why we say here that meditation you should do. In meditation, this is what we do, right? We go within and we talk to ourselves. So we have to do it regularly. If you are doing one day and then next day you say, oh, I don't have time. So consistency is the key. Okay. Next is encouragement. You need to encourage the inner child because the child has been gone through a lot. So the child really needs your support, your encouragement. So, and we have to understand that child is not going to listen to us in the beginning. Child is going to scream, child is going to say, no, I don't want to listen. But you have to be very gentle, you have to be very kind, you have to be very compassionate. Then R is responsiveness. That means it's not like what the child needs, but you also need to support the child in such a way that you tell to the child that, you know, this is the plan. These are so many options. So your response to the child is that you come up with some plan and then share with that inner child. That see, there are many options. There is not just one. Because see, the child has not learned any skill. Any skills, child is not equipped with that. So we have to teach the child those skills. Then A. A stands for authenticity. Authenticity and attention. So we have to give attention to the child, whatever the child is telling to us. It's not like we are distracted and we are somewhere else. Child is sharing, you know, in real world also. If the child wants to share with you something, but if you are distracted, you are not listening. You are not listening to the child, then child will not feel good, right? Child will, after some time, child will stop sharing with you because you don't listen. So you have to pay attention to the child and also let the child do whatever the child wants to do, authentic. Then L stands for love, unconditional love. That is what we need to provide to the child, because child has been yearning for that kind of love that the child did not get. So you have to provide that love to the child. Okay? So this is what we have to do.
So one thought, and I'm sure for some of us over here, it might be also helpful. When you talk of discussing with a child, a physical, it might be a very different thought process, right? The child is in front of you and you're talking and educating it. But when you're talking to your inner child, what does it really mean? How do you really talk to something which is inside? And some tips over here I'm sure will be very helpful.
Yes, yes. So we are going to do one exercise, okay? So it will be like you will be
How many
experiencing.
calories are we going to burn in that?
Lot of heaviness will go away from your head because your mind is going to be light, right? You're going to connect with your inner child. So let's do this exercise, and we have a few images. Each one of you are going to get one image. So you just look at that beautiful image that you're going to get. There is an image. This image has a child and a mother. So when you look at this image, so what you will be doing, because see, there are few things, just look at the image and you will see that the image of mother and a child, right? So try to connect with this child and see yourself as if you are the mother of this special child, and this is your inner child. You can use this image to just visualize that there is this inner child who is just waiting for you. Everyone has seen? And then in a moment we will go through the exercise. Okay? So just relax your body. Maybe you can have some music. Yes? So relax your body. So in this exercise, we are going to meet with your inner child, that part of your subconscious mind that has been waiting for your support. So very gently allow your mind to relax. And see yourself entering into your inner space. Where you are able to meet with your inner child. The child who is really in pain. You see yourself going very close to this child. And trying to understand what this child needs in this moment. Maybe this child has a specific need. Try to understand. Try to talk to this child in a very loving way, in a very supportive way. Very gently say to your inner child, I am here for you. You are safe. Let your inner child feel that safety, the security. Let your inner child experience your unconditional love, safety, love, and validation. This is what your inner child is looking for. Now open your eyes and look at the back of this image. You will know exactly what your inner child is looking for. Whatever is written, that is what your inner child needs. So take a moment to provide this support to your inner child. And now I would request someone to bring the other paper there. You will get another sheet of paper and pen. Now you are going to do another exercise after this. That you are going to write a letter to your younger self. Your inner child is your younger self. So you can use this quality, whatever you got, whatever quality your inner child is looking for, how you are going to provide that support to your inner child. You can write that. And there is a desk also in every chair, front chairs. And you can use those desks to write a letter. So these are two good exercises that you can do to let your inner child feel your support. So remember, you are writing a letter, you are caretaker, you are mother. As a mother, you are writing to your inner child a love letter. How much love you can provide to your inner child, and whatever support your inner child is looking for, you can express through this letter. Inside. Yes. This is your personal letter.
So while we're doing this exercise, when you're communicating with your inner child, one is the way we are writing right now as an exercise. Another could be we are talking to it. third could be meditation, which we do on a prevention side so that you don't get to those situations which are there. Anything you like to highlight onto this?
So regularity is very important.
Consistent.
Yes, we have to do it regularly, and listening to your inner child, is very important. If we ignore, just like we have been ignoring that inner child for a long time because of not being aware of that.
How do you know you're saying the right thing to your inner child?
And for everybody's benefit, the question is, how do we ensure that we're saying the right things to our inner child?
Yeah, so when you are talking to your inner child, then you will get a sense of satisfaction, the feeling that will come to you. You will feel that, yeah, something has shifted inside. Whatever, when you started off, there was a different feeling that you had, and as you connect with your inner child, you will feel that there is some kind of shift that happened, and you start feeling maybe very light or more like inner calmness, inner peacefulness. So these feelings, the feelings will change because it is all about feelings, So that is why you have to be very focused. If you are not focused, you will not be able to meet with your inner child, and there won't be any change in the feelings. Right? And that is why meditation is very important, because meditation helps us to bring our focus. Otherwise, we are all over. We are so distracted.
Focus on what?
Focus on what your inner child is trying to say to you. You have to listen to your inner child.
So can you please explain it with an example?
Yeah, we'll get to your question in a quick moment. When you see, we have created this mindset a lot of achieving, reaching. The word out there, we kind of have to do that, right, to some extent. So we bring that same energy, the same mindset into meditation as well. I have to get there. I have to do that. So all the meditation needs to be something that relaxes you, calms you. It becomes an exercise of even more distress and stress. So what Raj Yoga teaches, the ancient form of meditation that the Brahma Kumaris teaches across the world, is that first you have to be present with yourself, spending time with yourself. Parent-child, in today's world, parents are busy, so busy, either earning money or maybe other things. Even after, of course, one has to earn money so that the child can be provided with the necessary education, necessary resources for the growth. However, so many times the parents are ultra busy in unnecessary stuff. Too much of socializing, yeah. No one here is too much into socializing. Or how about gossiping? Yeah, you like gossiping with your friends? No? Of course not, right? Yes, for sure, yeah. So all of those things, they distract the parent from the child. And similarly, all of these things distract us from our inner child, distract us from ourselves. So the more you spend time with yourself, automatically things begin to evolve. The relationship between you, the parent, and you, the child. Understand? That parent, that child, that relationship improves. Here to the relationship starts to improve. And of course, if you do the Raj Yoga meditation course, which is free, there we get a step-by-step approach on how to really spend time with ourselves in a not just quantitative way, but qualitative way. Give it the right energy. Yeah, it will come. And your question, could you please repeat that?
Example.
Yeah.
Example of what?
So basically, I used to do meditation. So when I'm already calm, I feel calm after doing meditation because I'm already calm. But when I'm agitated, I feel calm for a small period of time, then I'm back to normal again.
back to agitated state, not
Yeah.
normal state.
Yeah.
Unless you're talking agitation to be the normal state, which shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, that's the reason I was trying to do the meditation. And the consistent part, I agree that it plays a vital role, which unfortunately I couldn't follow for a longer period of time, schedule
Totally
wise.
understand.
But
So that's why we have the Rajaga meditation course waiting for you.
One of the things that we learn here in Rajaga meditation is about connecting with God. So this connection with God is very important, because if we are supporting our inner child, then we have to flood the inner child with love, unconditional love. And also we have to provide that kind of safety to the child, right? So when we connect with God, God is what we learn in Rajaga meditation,
Correct.
that God is the ultimate source of love, the unconditional love. That's why we call him as the ocean of love.
The highest parent,
Yes, mother of all mothers.
daddy of all daddies.
Yes. Because it's Mother's Day, that's why I'm saying mother of all mothers. And Father's Day, I'll say father of all fathers. So when the child is in the womb, at that time, if the mother is meditating, then the energy of mother, just like whatever mother eats, the child receives the nutrition. Similarly, in the mind also, if mother is connected with the Supreme, that ocean of love, then the child will be flooded with the ocean, or with the love, unconditional love. So definitely, it definitely helps if mother meditates when the child is inside. Yeah. So all these steps you will be learning in Rajaga meditation, how to connect with God, how to connect with the self, and how to take care of that inner child. Okay?
So I was thinking of asking meditation and the role of Supreme. I think that got covered. I had one more aspect, but I believe you have something to add, and I'll ask my final question.
No. I want to listen to what you have to say.
Wow. Okay. No pressure on me for that.
No pressure.
Okay, cool. So I was thinking, as a layman, listening and feeling that the inner child of another person in front of me is easier than listening to your own inner child. I don't know how does it feel for everyone over here. I see somebody, we talked about all the symptoms which are there, saying that somebody starts screaming, suddenly loses patience, right? I can in my mind think, oh, that's the inner child. Maybe as an inner child, there might have been trauma which caused it. But to figure out for our own selves, how do we do that? Any advice on that exercise we did and everything? But to first be aware that this is my inner child and lacks something, and you identify that and get to the next level dialogue. Any tips on that?
Yes, so one of the things that is very important in meditation is about self-awareness. So when you are triggered by something and you see that you are getting angry, you're upset, when you meditate, you will get more and more awareness that this is the moment I am becoming angry. Even before the anger erupts, before you express that anger, you know it, that it's coming, it's about to come out. So you are able to have control over that.
All right.
As you meditate, you will not allow that anger to erupt. In fact, you will be in such a state that you kind of transform that anger into peace. And after some time, you will notice that there is no anger left. So this is the transformation that happens. You are able to understand your feelings that yes, I am getting angry, but this anger is not going to help, is not going to serve in any way. So what is the use? So you will try to talk to yourself in this way. In meditation, this is what we do. It's kind of dialoguing with the self.
Right.
So you talk to yourself that if I become angry, yes, I see that the anger is erupting, but if I express my anger, then what happened in the past? There was, it was unnecessary, there was chaos, and relationships became sour and this and that. So you remember that and then you stop there.
Right.
So and then when you are meditating, another thing that you can do, you can bring that same scenario in front of you, and you can envision yourself responding in a positive way. If the same situation comes to me again, then I am going to respond in this way. I am not going to be childish. I am not going to be screaming, but I am going to take this situation in this way, see the situation in this way. So you envision yourself in that way over and over and over, and one day it will become natural. You will not be screaming anymore.
All right.
You will be able to connect with your divinity. All the positive traits, you will be able to show those positive traits.
Very nice.
Your question was more of if someone else is behaving in a childish way, it becomes very obvious for us. We all have a big problem about vision. There's something called as myopic vision, and there's something called as hypermetropic vision. Many times we don't know this other word. So myopia is when you can see the close, but you can't see far. Hypermetropia is the other way around. And there's another third word in medicine, do you know? Anybody knows? It's called as presbyopia. Have you heard that? And you can neither see the close nor the far. So here we go through these deranged kind of ways in which we look at the world around us. So it is so much easier to see other people's faults than our own. What Raj Yoga teaches us is that we can transform the world only through self-transformation. So the motto is, when we change, the world changes. Self-transformation leads to world transformation. The more we try to look at others and examine them, the less you will be able to look at yourself and examine yourself. You can't change other people directly. It only has to happen indirectly through your transformation. So you work on yourself. Even, I guess, Aristotle talked about the dichotomy of control. There are things that are in our control, and there are things that are not in our control. Other people's behavior is not in our control. Our behavior is in our control. So when we spend time in trying to control what we can't control, we don't have enough energy resources left to control what we can control. So a total mess. So basically, one has to work on himself or herself. That's what we are learning. You mother your own inner child. Once you do that, you become a better human being. The very goal of Raj Yoga meditation, the very goal of Brahma Kumaris is to create a better world. But the world is a reflection of an individual human being inhabiting this world, this planet, each individual. So the Raj Yoga meditation, in a way, is trying to make the world better by changing one human being at a time. Each one of us has to become a better version of himself or herself. And then see, when you change, then first your family members, your loved ones will start to change. Then the neighborhoods will start to change. Then the community in general, and then the whole world. Yes, that's how we work on ourselves.
Absolutely. Yeah? Okay. Anyone has any other questions in your mind which you'd like to get answers?
Om Shanti. Thank you for such a great session. It's so good to be here today. Actually, I had a question, when we as parents have to parent our child, so many times we forget how thankful or how precious their light is for us as well as for everyone around them. We sometimes forget to actually acknowledge them, for what they are, for being honest, for being the way they are, for being their sharing their every little thing with us. So how to improve ourselves to become a better parent? How do we do that?
That's a lovely question, but that boils down to the same thing that I just mentioned. You just have to be a better person. That's what we're working on. So forget about this relationship just for a little bit. Of course, you are a mother. You have to take care of your daughter, your child. But for a moment, put that aside. See yourself as the mother for yourself. your inner child. Become a better mother for yourself, and you'll become a better mother for your child.
And also stay connected with the mother of all mothers. Right? So you will get the directions.
That's important.
Yes.
Yeah.
Om Shanti, sister just took my word that stay connected. But yes, you told that the ultimate connection with is our supreme parent, the God. So, but I was exactly telling that connected. So I have seen that, sometimes in the family, even though we are not busy, socializing or anything, but still under the same roof, we stay, but we kind of stay disconnected, right? In our own way, like everybody. So it's like that. Probably we have to check that within ourselves, are we staying connected with our inner child or not? So definitely there is some disconnection. So yes.
Yeah, if we understand this, then our life will become magical. We need to understand it, and we need to work on it.
The external world is a manifestation, a reflection of our inner world. If you are seeing disconnection in the world out there, there's disconnection. Don't see it as a punishment. See it as an opportunity, as if that situation, the disconnected experience, feeling that you have with your family members, see that as a wake-up call, as an alarm clock that will inspire you to search for ways to connect with yourself in a better way. That's all. Yeah. So, you have anything else to ask? Say. Yeah. I want to make sure that.
Why didn't you summarize? I actually wanted to take one learning which was there. I wanted to share with everyone. Some of the questions which I heard, and we were discussing about being self-aware of our inner child and how to handle that. And one of the earlier classes which we did, and we talked about the concept of SOS which was there, and I found it very relevant, saying that in normal day-to-day parlance we use the acronym SOS, meaning help, when you need help, and SOS over here we say stop, S for stop. So in case you come to a situation where you're losing your temper, stop for a moment, always observe your thoughts which are there, take a moment to, and then S is steer your thoughts in the right direction which is there. And that's how you help yourself in the journey of interacting with your inner child and becoming a better version of yourself. Yeah.
So once again, what I want to, in a way, recap, but also send you all with this very powerful message which I realized some time back, and something which I touched upon earlier. It is never too late to start. We have somehow developed a profound victim kind of state for ourselves. Who has not gone through challenges in their childhood, in their life? Even with the best parents, the parents were not able to maybe control the external situations. Maybe they had their own challenges that they were going through. Our parents did not have a manual that they could read. They did the best they could. How many here, I know, I'm sure no one will raise their hand, hold even a little resentment for their parents? I know, you won't answer. I don't need you to answer. I don't need you to raise your hand. But oftentimes we do hold.
Yes.
But let today be the moment that you release that resentment, that you forgive them for all that they did or not did. And in fact, hold the thought of gratitude for what they did, what they could do, as much as they did. They raised you, they brought you to where you are right now. So you are sitting here in this meditation space is also a manifestation of what they did in the childhood that you went through. So thank you to them. Yeah. But now, instead of holding on to that, the trauma, and reliving it and justifying that this is who I am because of what I experienced in my childhood. What transpired then, does it have to be carried forwarded into this present moment? It's a question I invite all of you to think. Again, forget about childhood. One person was mentioning that that person had an accident 20 years back and still can't drive. So, I've had 5 major accidents. I still drive. After the big accident, the recent one, 4 years back, we were on our way to Louisville, Kentucky, and it was late in the evening, dark on the mountains, bad accident, car got totaled. There was this truck that came. We got onto the truck because we didn't have a ride. So he was kind enough for a little bit of extra money to drop us off at the airport. I don't remember, Knoxville or something. Got a rental car and then started driving again. What to do? It's okay. It is what it is. For a little bit, yes, it was traumatic, of course, for this big airbag that goes off. That impact is huge, but it's okay. So what I'm trying to say is that we have this tendency, we in a way love to hold on to past experiences, especially the traumatic ones. And so it does us no favor. Raj Yoga teaches us how to let go of the past, how to live in the present, so that you can create the most amazing future for yourself. So today is the day you say to yourself that I'm going to now create the best future for myself by parenting myself, my inner child, in the best possible way. Forgetting all that happened in the past. Today is the day to start afresh. All right? Sounds like a plan? No victim consciousness now. Instead of why I am who I am. This is who I am. Now it's your problem. We say that? No. I can be whoever I wish to be. And what do you wish to be? A better version of yourself. Not comparing with anyone. Comparing with yourself. On a moment-to-moment basis, day-to-day basis. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So before we go on to that special sweet that you will get, which has been prepared with so much of love, that brother was mentioning in the beginning, and the blessing card as well, let's take a few minutes to meditate. Take a deep breath. Relax. Forget the external world for a little bit. Bring yourself to this space. Bring yourself to yourself. As if in this room no one exists other than yourself. We are so tuned, trying to help others, fix others. But let's take this opportunity to fix ourselves. But for that, we have to know ourselves. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? What traumas we have been holding on to for so long. So now in this safe space that you are in, invite God, the ultimate mother, the mother of all mothers, the grandmother, so that you can take guidance as to how you can mother yourself better. Now truly look at yourself. And in this moment, see all of the past, all of your childhood, all the things that should have happened but didn't, and all the things that shouldn't have happened but happened anyways. Look at all of that in a detached way, as if it's not your life, as if it is the childhood of your inner child. Raj Yoga teaches us how to detach ourselves from ourselves and observe ourselves. As a detached observer. So all that happened in the childhood. It's okay. Take this moment to reconcile with the past, with all of those situations. Feel as if you have a big sack and you are going with your child into the childhood of your child, picking up all of those things which needed change, which need change now, all those traumas, and you put them in the bag, the sack, and you bring it all to this present moment and hand it all over to God, the Supreme Mother. You feel so light as soon as you've done that. And at this moment you talk to your inner child and say, I love you as you are. I accept you as you are. I accept your shortcomings. I accept your weaknesses. I accept your defects. But now, with God's love, you can be healed. And you can support your inner child in its healing process. See love of God, which is the highest love in the universe, turning into the most healing ointment. And now, see yourself applying that ointment onto all the wounds of your inner child. And see these wounds beginning to heal, little by little. See yourself transforming. Along with your inner child. See this child becoming bigger becoming a true grown-up. The inner child doesn't need to remain a child for the rest of our lives. It needs to mature up. It needs to grow up. It needs to level up to be able to take on the responsibilities of life, of the world, and to be able to face the challenges that come its way in a meaningful way, so that life becomes a fulfilling experience. Just like as parents, they parent the child, they nurture the child, they sustain the child, so that the child becomes a lovely adult. See yourself parenting your child, inner child, in the best possible way, and see your inner child now evolving into an adult, a lovely adult, the best version of yourself. Oh, Shanti. Thank you, Brother Ajay, for your lovely questions.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Let's give him a big hand. And let's give each one of you also deserves a big hand, right? Yes. Big hand for each one of you. A big hand for all the regular students. Their tireless service makes it all happen. Yeah. So now is the time for you to get your special sweet. I still feel obliged to respond to your question. You had that question about that when we are agitated, then we can't really fix ourselves. So the whole process of Raj Yoga is that we work consistently on a regular basis, especially when we are at peace. You remember those days when battles used to happen? During the time when battles won't happen, they wouldn't just sit and do nothing. They would prepare for the next battle. And that's what we have to do. You can't really do what needs to be done in the moment when the agitation is happening. You have to prepare yourself earlier on when you are in peace. KJ. Om Shanti.